Hey there, my name is Rob Knight, and I was packing my bag for a photo workshop that I'm leading in Costa Rica next week, and it occurred to me just how many tools that I've added to my kit over the last few months that I'm really excited about using. So I figured I'd do one of these what's in my bag posts. It's been years since I did anything like that. But at the end of 2017 and here at the beginning of 2018, there's a lot of things that I've added to my kit that I'm really excited about. The first thing is this bag. This is the new Tenba Solstice. This is the 20-liter model. And I've been looking for a bag exactly this size and this functionality for a long time. One of the things that I don't like about most backpacks, including my Tenba shootout bags, which I really like a lot, is that they open to access your gear on this side. So that means if you put the bag down where it's wet or muddy, you're putting the straps down in the mud, in the water, right? And that sucks, honestly, because you have to worry about where you're going to put your bag down. You can't easily access your gear. So what I really like is the fact that this opens on the back side. Okay, it opens on the strap side of the bag, so that if I have to put the bag down, well then my straps and the part of the bag that goes against my back is staying nice and dry and clean. That's great. The other advantage for travel photographers is that there's no way to access your gear while you're wearing this bag, right? So nobody's going to come along and unzip your bag while you're not looking and have your gear stolen or fall out or any of it, right? So it's nice and secure, and it's good for keeping yourself clean while you're using the bag. So I'll just go through the bag and show, and in the process talk about these tools that I'm excited about using. So on the front of the Solstice 20 liter is this compartment here, and I've got extra AA batteries for a flash. I've got cables. I've got my 10.5-inch iPad Pro. I've got a little case that holds the Apple Pencil. It fits beautifully in there. That's great. I also like the fact that my tablet is kept on this side and not against my back, so that can be kind of uncomfortable sometimes if you have to wear the pack for a while. It's got this cool top compartment, which actually I wasn't even sure exactly what the functionality of this pocket was from watching the Tenba videos. They don't really mention this top compartment, but basically it comes just this big empty compartment. So my intention when I go to Costa Rica next week is that I'll have my rain jacket in there, maybe a snack, first aid kit, and that kind of thing. I really like this zipper here. One of the things that I do at the airport when I'm going through security, I'll put all my stuff, put my phone and my wallet and my keys and everything. I've got a nice easy spot to stick those, and I can zip that up. Another thing that the Tenba site doesn't mention, which is really cool, is that this top section is the exact size of their BYOB 9. Okay, they have several of these bags that are, it's just a little adjustable compartment that you can add to any other bag. And that's the idea, is that if you want to throw some camera gear in your purse or your messenger bag or a regular backpack, you can use these BYOB bags. Well, it fits perfectly in the top of this backpack. So in my case, I've got my iPad connections, my HDMI and my SD reader. I've got my GNARBOX, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute, my external hard drive, battery chargers, a SD wallet, and actually the camera that I'm recording this on is my GH5. That body will fit right in here. So the reason I put this stuff here is that when I get to the hotel, when I get settled, I can take this bag out with all of these things that I don't want to take into the field necessarily. I'm not going to go traipsing through the rainforest with my hard drives and my battery chargers. So I can pull all this out at one time and put it out. And again, put my rain gear in the top, put my snacks in here. I've got a nice big compartment where I can fit whatever I need that's not necessarily camera related. I can also fit my DJI Spark drone in here. The case that comes with the drone in the Fly More kit fits perfectly in here as well. So that is super handy. Now, going to the back of the bag, I like that the lid is hinged too. So if you only need to get into something that's in the top part of the bag, you don't have to unzip the bag all the way to get into it. I'm going to go ahead and open it up all the way. And this thing is cavernous. Okay, huge bag. I've got my Better Beamer flash extender. I've got my strobe here, And if you're shooting wildlife photography and you're not using a strobe and some kind of a flash extender, I really recommend you try it. As far as adding a catch light to the eyes, making the colors pop, these things for tropical birds are invaluable. So this is packed for travel. This is packed the way that I'm going to put this on an airplane. I'm going to throw it in the overhead. This actually fits under the seat in regular coach seats as well. I was pleased to find that out last week. So some of these things, like my filter wallet, this will go on the belt of the bag while I'm actually shooting, but I don't want that hanging around while I'm going through the airport, banging around in the overhead. So I've got that sort of stashed in here. Now, here's another tool that I'm really excited to get into for 2018. This is the new LUMIX G9. And here, it hasn't shipped yet. As far as I know, it's shipping at the middle of this month. It's January 2018 when I'm filming this. This camera is unbelievable. It's definitely my favorite LUMIX to date. Each new GH model has been sort of my go-to since they came out. And the G9, I haven't even turned on another camera since the G9, since I got my hands on the G9. This is actually a pre-production model that I've been lucky enough to shoot with. But the fact that it shoots, I really love the high-res mode, 80 megapixel stills. I'm excited to take that and shoot landscape photography down in Costa Rica. I've been there so many times that it's hard to get excited about how many pictures of the volcano with the sunset can you make. But now I can make those pictures in super high resolution, so I can make giant prints from those. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about shooting 20 frames per second with continuous autofocus. For hummingbirds, for other wildlife, for birds in flight, the focus tracking on this is much improved over the previous models, and I'm really excited to get this sucker out into my favorite spot to shoot. The lens on this is the Leica 12-60 f2.8 to f4, which is my go-to daily driver lens. It's a fantastic lens. It has that Leica creaminess to it that I really like. You'll notice a pattern as far as my lenses go here in just a second. Speaking of that, this is the Leica 12mm f1.4, and I'm taking this on the off chance that there'll be a clear night. It's usually cloudy at some point in Costa Rica when we go, but if I can find a clear night, this is great for shooting the stars. I'm hoping to get, every time I go to this one spot in Costa Rica, I'm hoping to get the Arenal volcano with the Milky Way behind it in some way. So fingers crossed for that, but this 12mm 1.4 lens is perfect for that. I've got my wide angle lens, which is also a Leica. Like I said, there's a pattern. The 8 to 18mm f2.8 to f4 lens, fantastic. It's I'm not worried about losing the stop of light. I don't really need a 2.8 lens for my wide angle lens, because generally if I'm shooting a wide angle shot, it's going to be, I want more depth of field. It's going to be more of a landscape shot or something to that effect, where I'm going to stop down to f8 or so anyway. So the look of this lens, the color rendition, the contrast is definitely worth that 2.8 to f4 variable aperture. Another lens that I don't leave home without is the Nocticron with the pop-off lens cap. The 42.5mm Leica, this is an f1.2 lens. Unbelievable for portraiture. I find myself using this for travel photography quite a bit. I find that 85mm equivalent focal length range really useful, much more than I expected to when I first got this lens. I didn't really expect it to use it much, and then I found myself on a trip shooting really only with this lens. So I know I'll use this a lot when I'm out and about. And finally, for lenses, I've got the Leica 100 to 400mm. This is an f4 to f6.3 lens. The fact that we've got now for the Micro Four Thirds system a 200 to 800mm equivalent lens that's this big, it's image stabilized, the dual IS with the body of the G9 is unbelievably effective, and so I'll shoot at 800mm effective focal length down to 2 or 300th of a second and get tack sharp results. That's fantastic. I don't have the tripod collar on it. Honestly, I rarely use it on a tripod because the stabilization works so well. Plus I can crank up the G9 and I can shoot at ISO 3200 all day long, and I get really sharp shots that I'm really happy about. So that is what's in my bag. I said I'm going to talk about the GNARBOX, and I really do want to talk about this. There's a thing missing from my bag that I'm really excited about leaving out, and that is my MacBook Pro. I love my computer. I like working on the computer. I'm not against it, but there's 5 pounds of gear that I don't have to take because of this sucker. So I'm going to do a separate video about my workflow with the GNARBOX, but because of this tool that I just found out about at the Photo Plus Expo last fall, instead of traveling with a laptop and a hard drive and a card reader and all those things, I'm traveling with the GNARBOX, my external hard drive, and my iPad Pro, and that's it. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to put that video up real soon because I think it deserves its own conversation. This thing is really great. And if you're a traveling photographer, if you shoot on the road a lot, I think you definitely want to look into the GNARBOX, but more on that later. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions at all, please, you can add them in the comments here. You can email me at rob@robknightphotography.com and check out robknightphotography.com, and I'll see you later.